The great city and the state capital of Maryland, Annapolis, plays host to this week's nightcap of SFLm action as the Madison Lynx come into town to play the Annapolis Navigators. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jack Brown alongside Mickey Malillo. And Mickey, we got ourselves a fun game here. Madison sitting on top of the SFLm standings. Meanwhile, Annapolis looking to keep their playoff hopes alive, although they've struck iron at the right time.
Oh, yes, they did, Jack. Got their first win last week, basically because of Grant Jr.'s 61-yard touchdown run, and Ronnie Shanahan 2 touchdowns and 190 yards. And just like last season, you never know what team could come out on top at the end. Last year's champions, Albuquerque Adams, started 0-3 and wound up taking it all.
That is true. And these two teams have a very long history. Two of the more successful teams in the SFLm. Madison boasting, of course, the 2 championships to their name. Should be a fun game. Have 2 of the more decorated coaches in the SFLm facing off as well. And then Annapolis set to receive the ball. Black tops, I guess you could say sea green pants. Meanwhile, Madison wearing their white tops and orange pants. And we are underway from Annapolis. Ball's taken from the 5 up to the 10, 15, 20 to the 25. They're going to mark them down at the 25. And that is where Gene Struthers and company are going to take the field.
Annapolis last week did a great job of mixing up their play calling. Some on the ground, some on the air. Like I said, Grant Jr. and Shanahan were big players last week. Let's see if they keep that game plan up for today.
Shotgun look for Gene Struthers. Struthers looking around. Short throw over the middle. That's going to be caught for a gain of 8 on the play. Catch made by Ronnie Shanahan.
Yeah, Ronnie Shanahan coming over just over the middle, just finding that little hole in the defense to be able to pick up the 8 yards. A nice big gain on first down to make it 2nd and short.
2nd down and 2. Ball is on the 33-yard line. Struthers dropping back, throws it over, and I think that's Shanahan with another catch and a 1st down. Apologies, folks, that's the tight end, Joel Harleman. First down once again for Annapolis. Quick drop from Struthers. Gonna go to the outside, finds Chris Grant Jr., and Jr. gains 7 on the reception.
Chris Grant Jr. had a lot of success with that swing route last week, just catching the ball in stride and being able to run up the field.
2nd down and 2, balls on the 45. Struthers looking around, going to be off the back of his lineman, I think that was. And that's going to set up a 3rd and short.
Kano Fortson was there just pushing back the lineman. That's probably the reason why Struthers threw it into the back of his lineman.
Yeah, it was just a bit of an ugly play all around. 3rd and 2. Ball is on the 45. Give me a play action for Struthers. Moves out of the sack. Flag on the play. That has to be holding.
Number 56, offense.
And it's going to be offensive clipping. That is the call. And the Lynx are going to accept that, and it'll make it a 3rd and 12.
That's unfortunate for the Navs because they had 3rd and short 2 yards ago to get the first down. Now they've got 3rd and 12 in mid-range in their own zone.
Yeah, and obviously Annapolis can't force another turnover, something they've really struggled with this season, tends to this point. Struthers goes deep down the field. That's going to be incomplete. Would have been a mile off from the first down anyway, and Annapolis going to have to punt.
Marty Alonso put his body on the line there just to try to get that pass so they could get a little bit more yardage to get a deeper punt for this fourth down.
Now out comes Pete Ellis to punt the ball away.
Oh yeah, punter, I'm coming. I'm blocking this.
That's a boomer of a kick taken at the 38 up to the 41. And that is where Madison and their very pass-happy offense will take the field.
And John Patrick Levine was there on the coverage. Great coverage there, just waiting for the receiver to catch the ball and just took him down right where he caught it.
Yeah. Luckily for Annapolis, the second worst rushing defense in the SFLm, Madison does not like to run the ball at all. 8th in rushing yards, but first in passing. They run a almost quintessential run and shoot. They're going to throw us to the outside, and that's going to be caught and carried over the line for the first down is Dylan Lewis.
Great catch by Dylan Lewis. Looked like Will Stern there for Annapolis. Did try to jump the route to get the pick, but he was just a little bit too late and he wasn't able to get there in time.
1st and 10 once more. I form 2 to the wide to the bottom of your screen for Madison. They're going to hand it off. And appreciate that while you can, because Madison does not run the ball often.
Well, that's probably why they took the Navigators by surprise. Michael Brown just up the middle, picking up 3 yards there, making it 2nd and 7.
One man to the side of Switch Thumper. Thumper looking around, gonna air it out deep over the top, and that's incomplete. Threw it into triple coverage, and Hartshorn on there to break up the pass.
Yeah, Annapolis just had great coverage there. Looks like it was going for Prince Wonder for that pass over the middle, but Annapolis just had everybody all over him to knock the ball down.
3rd and 7, this is where Madison can get dangerous. 4 wide, 1 in the backfield for the Lynx. Throw over, that's incomplete, tipped away, and Madison's gonna have to punt this one.
And that's a huge 3 and out for the Annapolis defense. They were doing this last week against Lincoln. They got to keep on doing this, and they want to stay close in this ball game, especially with the first place Lynx.
Pete Ellis out here doing double duty, punting for Madison. Ellis, oh, it's blocked! It's blocked, and Annapolis is going to have a impeccable field position. I guess he was just a little bit too flustered from having to change uniforms.
I guess so. It looked like it might have been John Patrick Levine again. I'm not sure if he was in there and made the block, but he definitely was in the backfield with the rest of the Navigators to get the block and start in Lynx zone.
Under center is Gene Struthers, throws the outside. That's going to be caught a little bit of a twirly catch. Made by Sheldon Hilton.
Sheldon Hilton on a nice little out route to pick up 3 yards for the Navigators. They just got to keep on moving that ball down the field. It's the name of the game right now.
Second and 7 for the Navigators. Throw to the outside. That's going to be caught inbounds. Going out of bounds is Ronnie Shanahan.
Like I mentioned before, Ronnie Shanahan was a big player in the air offense for the Navigators last week. I do like what Gene Struthers is doing here, just mixing it up on his receivers and not focusing on Ronnie like he did so much last week.
Third down and 3 for the Navigators. Offset eye look for them. Going to be a handoff to the outside to Christian Grant Jr., who's got room to run. Breaking free down to the 19. And for the first time tonight, we got a team in the red zone.
Chris Grant Jr. is one of those workhorses of this offense. If he's not catching the ball on the swing route, he is running hard. He's finding those holes, finding the open field, and being able to get down the field. For that run, now they're 1st and 10 in the red zone on the Lynx 19.
First and 10, the Navs are down at the 19. Throwing over the middle, that's going to be tipped away, incomplete. Pass intended for Goldie Morrison.
And DJ Woods was there on the deflection. Does a great job keeping an eye on the quarterback, seeing when he throws the ball and being able to deflect it.
Second and 10, heavy set look for Annapolis. Going to hand off Chris Grant Jr. Jr. going to the outside. That's going to be a loss of yardage. And a big one at that. Interesting play call.
They've been doing so well going up in the air. I was wondering why they were going on a off-end run there. But Amanu was there just watching, waiting, and then take down Chris Grant Jr. for that loss.
Gene Struthers in the shotgun. 3 wide to the top, 1 wide to the bottom. Empty backfield look for the Navs. Struthers going over the middle. That's going to be incomplete. And Annapolis going to have to settle for 3. Good job, though, on the Madison defense.
Madison was pinned back, especially getting that punt block and the Navigators starting in their own zone. Great job by that defense to make sure they stay out of the end zone and holding them to a possible 3.
Scotty Ormond out to kick for 3. Should be about a 39-yarder. Kick is up from Ormond. And it's good.
This Annapolis defense was definitely good getting the ball down the field, even though they had a short field to work with. Did a great job. They just have to get in the end zone more if they want to stay up in this game.
Yeah, especially against a passing offense like Madison, which is known to not really want to take their foot off the gas. Ormond's kick is away. Fielded at the 15, up past the 25 to the 30. That's going to mark him down dead on the 30-yard line. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at www.simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. And Gene Struthers is looking to put the ball in the hands of his receiver. Unfortunately, the punchline doesn't pay off as Victor Williamson drops it.
And I do believe that was switch thumper for Madison there, partner.
If I said Gene Struthers, I deeply apologize to anyone who I may have offended. Second and 10. Thumper looking around. Throwing over the middle again. That's a good catch and a first down. Lynx move the chains and Prince Wonder on the reception.
Prince Wonder was just doing a great post route there over the middle. Thumper just put it right between 2 defenders that were just trying to cover him. There were 4 or 5 Navigators in the area, but Wonder just found that one hole in the middle of all of them to be able to pick up that first down.
Ball's on Madison's 42-yard line now. Thumper. That's going to be another catch and a first down to Dylan Lewis as that crosses the midfield stripe to the 43 of Annapolis.
Looks like Madison's getting their air game going now. They had a little bit of a slow start in that first drive, but switch Thumper's out there, and he's tossing that ball to everybody.
First and 10 once more. Thumper under center. Thumper dumps it off to Michael Brown. And that's going to be a gain of 5.
Even though Madison is this air-happy offense, it does look like they still get the running backs in with some of these passes to be able to pick up 5, 6, 7 yards here and there.
Well, yeah, I mean, a good running back is a very key component of any passing game, depending on how you use them. 2nd and 5 now for Madison. Thumper lays one over the middle. That one should have been intercepted. Unfortunately, falls to the ground, and, well, fortunately for Madison, it's incomplete.
That was Jupiter Jr. right there with that deflection. It did hit him right in the hands, but just couldn't corral it in to be able to get the INT for the Navigators.
3rd and 5. 2 wide, 2 in the backfield for Madison. Thumper looking around, going to lob one over the top, incomplete. What a tip, I gotta say. Because Thumper played that perfectly. It just fell to the ground.
No, Thumper definitely played that perfect. And it was just Wolf Highwind right there, just being able to see the ball, and he just jumped on. It looks like his fingertips caught it for the deflection.
Now Pete Ellis back out once again, this time from Madison. Punts away, and it's going to be taking a Lynx bounce at around the 5-yard line. That's going to go into the end zone for the touchback. And they're going to take this one out to the 20.
It's a very smart move for the Navigators. Just let the ball bounce, see if they get their bounce to get it into the end zone. They could start it to 20 instead of inside the 5.
Hey. 1st and 10 from 20-yard line.
Ball's on their own 20. 2 wide to the top. 2 in the backfield alongside Gene Struthers. Struthers looking around. He's going to lob this one deep over the top, and that is caught for a first down. Joel Harleman with another catch.
Harleman, the two-way player out of Jacksonville, just coming up clutch here for the Navigators. You don't often see a tight end going over the middle like that, but his 6'4" stature was definitely key there to jump up and get that ball.
1st and 10.
Struthers throws to the outside. That's going to be complete with a lot of room in front of him. Couldn't quite turn it upfield enough, but Goldie Morrison does a good job nonetheless.
You see that often in the minors. It's just part of growing in the minor leagues. Just these wide receivers got to turn on a dime, be able to run upfield, and not have their momentum take them out of bounds.
I'm taking counter. I'm taking counter.
2nd down and 5. Struthers dumps it off to Chris Grant Jr. Jr. is going to gain 2 yards, make it a 3rd and 3.
Newton North there on the tackle there. And it looks like this Madison defense is really doing a good job keeping Grant at bay after what he was able to do last week.
Let's go, D. That's what we're here for. Watch the back.
And that's going to be tackled short of the line to gain. 4th down and 1. Goldie Morrison not quite able to get it. Now Pete Ellis having to change uniforms again and run back onto the field.
I think Pete Ellis is going to be one of the hardest working players this game, just punting for both teams. I wonder how he gets on the other side of the field.
Oh, keep them on the sidelines for now. They are looking to keep their offense on the field. Sounds like they're just hard counting it. And they're just going to call a timeout. Good job on Madison on the road trip for not jumping.
Maybe Pete Ellis needed a little extra time to get on the other side of the field to be able to change his uniform to be able to punt this ball.
Yeah. Couldn't find his helmet.
He had the white jersey with the black helmet on. It just doesn't match.
No. Fourth and 1. Ellis punting the ball away. Gonna be taking it to 16, not gonna go anywhere. First and 10 with 1:21 remaining in the first quarter.
And that was Curtis Walker back deep to get the punt, but once again, John Patrick Levine on perfect coverage to be able to stop him right in his tracks.
First and 10 from our links, 19 yards.
Thumper handing it off to Michael Brown up the middle, and Michael Brown gains 2 on the play. Tackle made by Chandler.
Just another one of those rare running plays by the Lynx. And starting to think they're trying to keep the Navigators on their toes, being able to mix it up between the air and the ground, that they don't know exactly where they go, considering that Madison is that air-heavy offense.
Here we go! Line up!
Thumper throwing over the middle. That's going to be a flag on the play. Not sure for what, though. Dylan Lewis with the first down reception if the play stands.
Pass interference, number 20.
And that's going to be DPI. Obviously, the Lynx is going to decline this, so that's interesting.
Very interesting pass interference call on Tyreek McCall there, but I think it was all for naught considering that the Lynx were able to get the first down on that play.
Our links, 32 yards.
Would have gotten the first down anyway because of the penalty, but alas, first and 10 for the Lynx. Thumper throws the outside. That is inbounds, they're going to call it, on the throw to Prince Wonder.
It's like Prince Wonder was able to tap his toes right there on the sideline to get him to 7 yards, making a more manageable second down play here. He definitely... Well, all you need is 1 foot in the SFL, and that's exactly what he got inbounds.
True. But Jay Hayden's still going to challenge it.
Are challenging.
Let's see if he did get that foot in. Throw it to the outside. And I mean, unless he picked up that foot, there is nowhere near enough evidence to overturn this.
After review, the pass has been ruled incomplete. The catch was made.
Whoa, and they're going to overturn the call.
Will not be charged with a timeout. Second
And
down.
Jay Hayden must have seen something we didn't on the replay.
Definitely looked
Second
like
and 10.
it definitely looked like that he had his foot inbounds there. R62 must have saw something that we couldn't.
I'll do an extra pass today!
Second and 10. Thumper pumps in. That's going to be incomplete. Third and 10 for the Lynx.
And Thumper there looked like he was targeting Mr. Prince Wonder again. Just a lot of Annapolis Navigators defensive secondary there all around Wonder.
Third and 10 now. 5 wide, none in the backfield for the Lynx. And Thumper goes down incomplete. And back out comes Pete Ellis.
Switch thumper definitely got that ball out just in the nick of time for an incomplete pass. Otherwise, it's going to be a big loss on that sack.
Yeah, after the overturned call, the Annapolis defense is able to hold, and Madison gonna have to punt this one away on what could be one of the last plays this first quarter. Punts away, and it's going to be taken at the 27. They're going to say he gained a yard on it. And Annapolis, their defense showing up this first quarter.
They definitely did, but you gotta just talk about that hit that the two-way player out of Jacksonville, JT Jackson, just hit on the return man there. He just laid out and knocked him down.
Struthers in the shotgun. Gonna lob this one deep, and another tipped incomplete.
It looked like Newton North there did have a line on the ball. He just got his hands up, but it was just a little bit too high for him to bring it in. But it was a good deflection and good defense there for the Lynx.
Yeah, very solid defensive play. Just didn't quite end on the interception that I'm sure head coach Mike Prococo was hoping for. Second and 10, throw to the outside. Oh, he got the defender to bite. And the defender allowed him to gain 9.5 yards. Goldie Morrison with a big catch to end the quarter. 3-0 Annapolis. But this game is just heating up, folks. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the SFLm on YouTube. Third down and inches for the Navigators. Coming out in a heavy set. Hit off the outside for Chris Grant Jr. gets the first down. And a whole lot more to the 47.
Chris Grant Jr. just a great run off tackle there to be able to find the hole, to be able to pick up the first down and more for the Navs.
Hand off to Chris Grant Jr. again, gets swallowed up in the backfield. Huge loss for the Navigators.
Owen Ward coming into the backfield for a great defensive stand there. Just getting Chris Grant Jr., in the backfield for a 4-yard loss.
Second down, 14. Deep drop for Struthers, going to throw to the outside, and Chris Grant just fell down. And he has lost these Navigators 7 yards on the previous 2 plays.
Don't know what's going on, Chris Grant Jr. Looks like that ball might have been tipped a little bit when it was coming out of Struthers' hands, but still, Chris Grant just moved forward all last game, and today's just moving backwards for them.
Third and 17. Struthers going to need a big play here to keep this drive alive. Struthers looking around. Picks up some good blocks. He's going to run it himself. And he's only going to gain 6 yards. He needed 17. And Periwinkle gets another tackle.
Periwinkle was just standing there watching the quarterback. It's one of his jobs as an outside linebacker. And saw him starting to scramble and just stepped up and made sure he didn't get more than those 6.
Ellis, his punt is high. Going to be taken at about 15 up to the 19-yard line. And Madison gets another shot.
And once again, great kick coverage there by the defense. Just getting in there, getting to the return man, keeping him as back as they could be.
First and 10 again, and Thumper goes down for a huge sack. Annapolis came crashing down on that play.
Will Chandler just getting in the backfield, seeing Switch back there, and just his eyes wide open, caught Switch in the backfield for that 4-yard sack.
Second and 14, throw to the outside. Michael Brown only gaining a single yard out of it. Makes it 3rd and 14.
And this Navigators defense is definitely stepping up. They're doing what they can to be able to contain this Madison offense so they can keep in this game. 3-0 is not much of a lead, but when you're going against a first-place team, it's still a lead.
3rd and 14 for the Lynx. Thumper goes down again! 2 sacks on 3 plays and just a negligible gain to supplement it. And Chandler, probably the first time anyone's ever said this, Chandler is doing pretty well for himself.
Chandler out there, 2 sacks in that drive, 3 and out from Madison. Navigators got to get in the end zone here. This is their big chance in this game.
Pete Ellis once again out on the football field. Gonna be fair caught at the 36-yard line. Annapolis now having immaculate field position.
What's great about that field position is that they're not far out of field goal range. So even if they can't get the first down here, as long as they get 5-7 yards, they can at least put another 3 on the board to make it at least making Madison have to get a touchdown to get back in this game.
1st and 10 once more, this time in favor of Annapolis. Going to hand it off to Chris Grant Jr. Chris Grant Jr. nearly got the seal on the outside. And Claudius Periwinkle takes him down.
And definitely that Madison defense has been keeping an eye on Chris Grant Jr. He just has not been able to get out of the backfield much unless Struthers throws the ball to him.
Struthers throws it over the middle. That's going to be caught. Gain of 7 makes it 3rd and 3. And puts Annapolis pretty much right in field goal range.
Great catch there by Joel Hollerman. Just over the middle. A lot of defenders around him, but he was able just to get the ball, keep it, and possess it to be able to pick up those 7 yards there.
Let's go, D! That's what we stand for! Single back!
Throw to the outside. That's not going to be enough for the first down. Will keep him in field goal range, and that's about all you can ask for.
It looks like it's going to be somewhere around a 43 or 44-yard field goal attempt here. Definitely in the range for any minor league kicker.
Let's block the play, go! Let's go! Let's go!
And they're going to punt.
Pete Ellis back out there.
Yeah, he's getting all the workout you could ever want. What a strange call. Well, I guess it works out since Madison's going to start on their own 6.
I really thought that Annapolis was at least going to try the field goal there, but I guess maybe their kicker is still just working their way up to being able to be a long-range kicker to be able to get a field goal like that. But better safe than sorry. Put Madison back in their own zone and just try and get the ball back.
Well, alas, it's 1st and 10 for the Lynx. They hand it off up the middle. Michael Brown gains a solid 5 yards as the clock keeps ticking.
And I think that was a smart call for there, Madison. They don't use the running game that much, but being that deep in their own zone, and not to mention that Chandler had 2 sacks last drive, give them a little bit more breathing room.
Deep drop for Switch Thumper, throws the outside. That's going to be dropped! Dylan Lewis had it, unfortunately dropped. And Gino McFly there with the pressure.
Dylan Lewis has got to catch that ball. That hit him right in the hands. A great, great pass by Thumper and finding his open receiver. You've got to catch those.
Third down and 5, 4 wide, 1 in the backfield for the Lynx. And Thumper is going to get hit as he's trying to throw it. And I think that was once again.
Go ahead and say it. That was Will Chandler there hitting Thumper as he was throwing the ball.
He's everywhere. He haunts the dreams of the entire city of Madison, Wisconsin. The man's going to take all their cheese curds as Pete Ellis punts it away again. And it feels like we're almost in a bit of a Groundhog Day situation here.
I feel the same way. I was about to say, you just hand the ball back and forth to each other's teams right where they started on their last drive.
Doesn't help also that it's the same punter going back and forth.
He's going to be tired by the end of this half, let me tell you.
Gonna have to go into both locker rooms. You know, the logistics are gonna be fun. First and 10. Handoff up the middle for Chris Grant Jr. Chris Grant Jr. gaining 6 on the play. And now we gotta see if Annapolis can close the deal, because that's been the issue really with Annapolis. And both these offenses, they can get those good first down plays, but when it comes to closing the deal on these first downs, they fail to really do it. Throw to the outside to Chris Grant Jr. Chris Grant Jr. picks up a block, gets it to the 18-yard line, and that's exactly the sort of stuff I was talking about.
That's exactly what Annapolis needs. You need to get in the red zone. They were in this situation before, but still weren't able to get into the end zone. Big key here for them is to get into the end zone before this half so they can put a nice lead under them as they go into the second half.
Throw to the outside, that's going to be caught once again for a gain of 5 by Goldie Morrison.
Goldie Morrison on a nice out route there, just nobody in front of him, nice clear pass for Struthers to get the ball to him.
Struthers goes to the outside, that's caught first down for Annapolis. Catch made by Ronnie Shanahan as they are moving it down the field. First time, I think, tonight we've seen a goal-to-go situation.
I believe you're right, partner. And definitely, Ronnie Shanahan's name was called a lot last week. Annapolis isn't calling his name much, but this is definitely where Ronnie did most of his damage last week.
Handoff up the middle is going to be 2 yards, they're going to say. They're going to give it to Chris Jr. Second to goal, 7 to go.
It's definitely going to be a key drive for Annapolis just to be able to keep the momentum for this game. They need to get in the end zone here. They need to go up by 10 coming up to the 2-minute warning.
Throw back in the end zone, that's caught! Touchdown, Annapolis! Ronnie Shanahan making the play stick when it counts.
Like I said, this is where Ronnie Shanahan does a lot of damage in his goal-to-go situations. Just got to the back of the end zone, kept both feet, not just one, but he had 2 feet in bounds to solidify those 6 points.
And don't look now, but Annapolis currently has a 2-score lead on Madison in a game where I'm sure a lot of people were expecting Madison to start throttling Annapolis early.
Yeah, I don't think anybody thought that Annapolis would be up 10 points this late in the first half. That's definitely the case.
And so Annapolis set to kick this one away. Taking out 15, past 20, past the 25 to the 28-yard line. Liking the game so far? Hit that button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As the SFL approaches its 20th anniversary season, there's much more content to come. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLm action and help the channel grow through your support. Thank you for helping the SFL reach 10 years of operation through your viewership. 10 years, that's literally half the time that I've been alive, Mickey. So the SFL's been around a minute. Switch Thumper. Going over that, what are you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say, it's half the year that you've been alive, but it's only about the little less than a quarter of how long I've been alive, so.
Wow. So that just puts into perspective the audience, you know, just the wide age range that the SFL has been covering.
Oh, absolutely, and they have great players, all from those in their teenage years up into the Social Security receiving days.
I mean, quite literally. As Switch Thumper throws over the middle, that's tipped incomplete. Nearly intercepted, but I think that's by Jupiter Juno, I think that is.
I think you're right on that one. Jupiter Juno was definitely in, at least if he didn't have the deflection, he was there to help with the defense on that. And the Annapolis Navigators are really their defense is stepping up right now, right when they really need it too.
Thumper goes the outside, that's going to be caught inbounds, going for a first down, and he got it out of bounds. Did all that he could do and more.
And that was Prince Wonder on the catch right there. Did a good job turning up the field, staying in bounds. He knew exactly where the first down marker was, and he knew he had to get there if he wanted to keep this drive alive.
First and 10. Ball at the 40-yard.
Thumper looking to go deep on first down. That's incomplete again. Annapolis already had one of the better passing defenses in the SFLm, ranked 3rd in the league coming into tonight. But they've made Madison look flat.
They have done their job. That secondary is all over all of the Lynx receivers here. They haven't done much this game. A couple of big passes here and there, but Madison is just having trouble moving the ball down the field.
Hand off the outside, not going to do anything. And Annapolis' defense has been here, there, and everywhere.
Wolf Highwind up there on a stop there. Just, I don't know what Madison's doing, but they've got to do something to get over this defense.
2-minute warning, Madison looking to bring it to within 3. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're watching SFLm on YouTube. Alas, it's once again 3rd and 10 for the Lynx. Thumper throwing over the middle. That's going to be caught first down to the 48 of Annapolis, barely edging across the midfield stripe.
And Dylan Lewis there on the catch, doing a good job, making sure they get the first down there to keep Madison's hope of getting a score alive.
So over the middle once again, that's going to be caught down to the 34. And Madison's passing attack finally coming through towards the end of this first half.
On Haynes, a two-way out of Florida with that big catch to keep the drive going. Another 1st and 10 from Madison, getting closer and closer to the end zone as his half ticks down.
This is going to be a throw to the outside to Michael Brown. Michael Brown sheds a tackler. Gains 4 on the play. Madison has all 3 timeouts. Strange they're bleeding this much clock away. Throw deep over the middle. That's tipped incomplete. And at the bare minimum, it does stop the clock.
It does stop the clock, but this is a pivotal 3rd and 6 for Madison. It's on the edge of any field goal range for any kicker. If it's a field goal, it's going to be somewhere around a 46, 47 yards, and we saw what happened on the other side of the field. They felt it was a little bit too far for their kicker, so they wound up punting the ball away.
Third and 6, Thumper going to the outside. That's caught. First down. Pushed out of bounds is Dylan Lewis. Down to the 19.
Dylan Lewis was a big catch there for first down. Looked like he tried to jump over the defender and just put a knee in the chest of the Navigators defenseman, but was able to get down, and he was able to get out of bounds to stop the clock to give him a little bit more time.
Thumper moving around, hit as he throws. Incomplete, but still a very entertaining play.
Very entertaining. Again, Annapolis is just getting in the backfield, putting pressure on Thumper. They've been doing that all quarter so far. Will Chandler with 2 sacks at the beginning of the quarter. Him getting in there and pressuring Thumper, and I think he was in there again for that hit. So, Annapolis is doing their job. They just got to try to stop these 10-yard pass plays.
Throw to the outside. That's going to be another first down, goal to go. And Madison finally takes their first timeout of the half.
Called his name a lot so far. That was Prince Wonder there, getting that first down and putting him with goal to go situation here late in the first half.
Yeah, Prince Wonder, one of the top receiving prospects in this SFL draft. Sets up first and goal to go. Deep drop, first Thumper, incomplete, but flag on the play. That might be a DPI.
And that flag definitely came in late. It might be defensive pass interference unless something else happened.
They're going to blame McCall for that. That'll set up the Lynx with another first and goal situation.
Looks like it's going to be 1st and 1. I think that happened in the end zone, and by rule, the ball comes out to the 1-yard line to set up 1st and goal.
Thumper finds a man open in the middle, touchdown. Easy as they come. Ron Haynes gets the touchdown credit.
It's definitely Ron Haynes. Great catch there. With a lot of traffic. Other Lynx players, other Navigators are all in the area, but he was just able to corral that ball, get the 6 on the scoreboard for them. Definitely what they needed going into the half.
Number 14 is back to the point after. Milton will hold the kick.
Snaps a bit low, kick is up, and it's good. And so, we're down to a 3-point ball game just before halftime.
Still 25 seconds on the clock. And the way that Annapolis is moving the ball, there might be a chance that they could get into field goal range to put another 3 on the board. It's going to be tight. They got to be able to move quick, get out of bounds, and use their timeout smart, but there's still a chance.
Taking out the 10, past 10, 15, 20. We're going to mark them down at the 27.
And definitely good coverage there for the Lynx special teams. Didn't let him get out, didn't give him any big yardage on the kick return, keeping them pretty deep in their own zone.
Another handoff up the middle. It's going to lead to 2-yard gain. It looks like Annapolis just satisfied to take this to the half.
Yeah, they kept the clock rolling. A 3-point lead on the first place team is nothing to shake your head about. So I think they're satisfied with these 3 points. Go into the half, rest up, especially give Pete Ellis a little bit of a rest. He worked hard this half.
Madison, though, does get the ball to start the second half. Should be an interesting ball game. Glad to have you here. Jack Brown alongside Mickey Malillo. And they're going to bring that out to the 33, 1st and 10 for Madison.
It was a pretty good kick there for Juniper Belson. Just getting it back down there. Annapolis' coverage there wasn't as good as it was in the first half. I hope that doesn't mean that the defense is getting tired. They were top-notch first half. Let's hope they can keep it up for the second.
Thumper looking around, going to go to the outside. Caught. Not enough for the first down, but still a good start. Two quarterbacks have been somewhat even through the first half. Dylan Lewis on the reception.
It looks like Madison's air game finally got going. They had the momentum going into halftime. Getting the ball back to start the second half is great. And they're just doing exactly what they were doing before. 10-yard passes, out routes, and just getting them to finding the open receivers there. Thumper's doing a great job finding them.
Moving on the pocket, Thumper. Oh, that should have been picked off. And it brings up 3rd and inches. Adam Nold had his hands on it and just dropped it. Or, well, he tipped it.
Yeah, absolutely. Adam Nold was great there. Tipped the ball away, but what you may have missed was that Will Chandler once again was in the backfield putting pressure on Thumper. Might be why the ball was a little off its target there.
Thumper throws the outside, tipped incomplete. And the Annapolis defense goes from letting up 9.5 yards on the first play to letting up 0 on the next 2. And back out in Madison Lynx colors this time comes Pete Ellis.
And that last play, J.W. Harshon was huge. He was the one who tipped that ball to make sure that it didn't get to any open receiver.
Ellis punting the ball away. Field at 15 up to the 20. And that'll make it 1st and 10 for Annapolis.
Is it possible we could give player of the game to Pete Ellis for just playing for both teams?
I mean, you know, I'll send that note down to the people who decide it. The little computer people who decide who to give player of the game to. Throw to the outside. That's going to be caught by Chris Grant Jr. Picking up a first down. Nice.
Chris Grant Jr. had nobody in front of him. He saw a wide open green space in front of him, and he knew he was going to get that first down as soon as he caught the ball.
Yeah, and he just kept going, too.
Looks like he tried to put a little stiff arm action there, too. Just couldn't get the little too little to put that big guy out of the way.
And down goes Gene Struthers on the 1st and 10 play as Kano Forston comes in to make the sack.
That was a huge hit by Kano. He was able to get by the offensive lineman and just grab Struthers, throw him to the ground, and say, "Stay there, don't get up."
Second and 14, handoff up the middle. It's going to be a gain of 6 for Chris Grant Jr.
Chris Grant Jr. was able to make up for that sack. He got an extra yard there, too, to make it 3rd and long. 3rd and 9 to be exact. He's big. He can catch and run. He can find the hole and run. Problem is that Madison's defense has been hawking him entire game, and it's tough to get him in the open field.
Struthers moving around the pocket. Has all the time in the world, and he throws it short. Way short of the first down.
You got to give credit. You got to give credit to the Annapolis offensive line there. Struthers had all the time in the world. Couldn't find anything deep downfield that he had to throw back across his body to the other side of the field to find somebody who was kind of open.
Punt is away. It's going to be taken at about the 31-yard line. We're going to say that he got up to the 34. And out comes Madison's offense. And folks, the SFL network is coming to the ESTV Plus app. 24/7 programming will include content created by the community, the SFL's greatest games from the archives, exclusive network content, and live SFL regular season games. Just announced this week, ESTV is now live on Prime Video and on the Freevee app. Download the ESTV Plus app on your Android, iPhone, or through your smart TV before Season 20 today. Throw to the outside is going to be caught. Gain of 4 on the reception.
Dylan Lewis there doing his job, being able to catch the ball. Madison. Again, their air game is getting up there, but we saw what happened last time. They got 9.5 yards and then couldn't move the ball again because Annapolis' defense has just been stepping up when they needed to.
Thumper moving around, he's going to get sacked again!
Guess who?
It's Will Chandler, ain't it?
Yes, it is. Will Chandler with his 3rd sack of the game.
So many sacks. How many can one man rack up in a game? I guess we're gonna figure out tonight.
Definitely are.
Thumper moving around the pocket, gonna throw over the middle. That's caught. Enough for the first down. 2. They're gonna say for Prince Wonder.
Prince Wonder, he had defenders all around him. He just was able to keep the concentration, keep his eye on the ball, and Amen Eglin there tried to reach up to be able to deflect that ball, but it was just a bit out of his reach to be able to do it. Big first down there for Madison after that big sack.
And the downfield throw is going to be good for a first down. once again for Madison.
That looks like it was Curtis Walker there. We didn't call his name much this game, but just came in there clutch for another first down.
Not too much to this point. Hand off the outside to Michael Brown, who's going to lose a yard. 2nd and 11 now for the Lynx.
That was Wolf Highwind there on the stop. Nice big hit there. Big shoulder tackle to make sure that Michael Brown couldn't go anywhere.
2nd and 11. Thumper going down the field. And Jupiter Juno dropping another pick.
That was in his hands. Great job defending it and keeping an eye on the ball to be able to at least be right there. But Juno, my man, you got to catch those. That was in your hands. You could have turned around, got your team good field position. But at least now it's 3rd and long for the Lynx.
Thumper looking around again. Hit as he throws. Caught! What a play by Switch Thumper. Finding Dylan Lewis deep to get down to the 28.
Dylan Lewis just running a great route there, going down the field. Looks like he was even double covered there and was just able to find a little area between both those guys to be able to catch that ball. That was definitely a needle thread there by Switch Thumper.
1st and 10 from 28 yards.
So over the middle, that's going to be another pass deflection by Juno. And, there's an injury on Madison's side of the... Switch Thumper!
Oh, that's going to be a huge blow to Madison. This air-heavy offense losing their quarterback. Hopefully definitely looks like it was a low tackle there. Hopefully he could come back later on in this game, but that's a huge blow to the Lynx.
And so the backup now, Michael Mitchell, to come in. And it definitely doesn't look like Madison's going to slow down the passing attack now. 2nd and 10 for the Lynx. Mitchell looking around the pocket. Mitchell moving up. Mitchell! Oh, he avoided 1 sack. Can't avoid 2. Loses a few, makes it 3rd and 14.
And that was number 93, Saint Melchizedek, on that sack. Mitchell was able to, you were right, he was able to avoid 1, but he couldn't avoid the second one.
Third down and 14. 4 wide, 1 in the backfield for the Madison Lynx. Mitchell throws, that's going to be incomplete, 4th and 14. And Madison going to send out Juniper Belson. Kick for 3.
And this is going to be somewhere around a 48-yard field goal attempt for Juniper. We saw Annapolis not try it before. Let's see if Belson has the leg to be able to get this 3.
They're going to need it because now without Switch Thumper, their offense is going to be compromised, and they're going to need every point they can get. Kick is up, it's over, and it's good from 48. What a kick from Juniper Belson.
That was a fantastic kick, not just by Belson, but by any minor league kicker. Those long 40-plus yarders are very difficult, especially with these growing kickers, but he proved to us he had the leg strength, and he probably could have kicked for about 50 or 51 yards, looking at where that ball landed in the netting.
Belson's kick is away. Field around the 5 by Annapolis. Taking up past 15, 20 to the 25. And folks, visit the SFL website, simulationfl.net, for info about the league and its 2018. All the places you can watch live games plus links to apparel from Sector 6 and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. See all the league records, team stats, player leaderboards, the rankings of the next class of SFL talent, and so much more. Simulationfl.net, your home for everything SFL. Struthers into the pocket, throws, that's going to be caught. Gain of 8. And now if you're Annapolis, there's a certain sense that this drive, you really need to hit your stride here because, well, you have a pretty big advantage over Madison in the offensive production department.
Yeah, Annapolis does have to get in the end zone here because right now, Madison's probably going to be focusing on Michael Brown a little bit more in the running game, being that Switch Thumper is out.
Struthers, air the deep. Oh, it's incomplete.
Newton North there on the deflection to make sure that the Annapolis, I think it was Harleman, that couldn't catch that ball. It's not often you see a tight end going deep down the field, but Annapolis likes to use Harleman like that. But North was there and he was able to see and just deflect the ball a little bit to make sure that couldn't have been a completion.
And so that brings us to a 3rd down and 2 situation. Annapolis have been struggling all night with these 3rd downs. Struthers throws it deep once again and picked off! The first turnover of the night benefits the Lynx massively.
Even though North wasn't able to get the ball last play, this time he was able to secure it to get the INT for the Lynx. It's going to be a big play, but the problem is, once again, the Switch Thumper is out, and Madison's offense is mainly a passing offense. Going to see how they're going to change up the game plan here.
Thumper, Mitchell going deep, and that's picked off right back. Mitchell has not completed a single pass tonight. J.W. Hartshorn there to intercept.
That was a definite tip drill there, and Hartshorn was there to be able to pick the ball. Now they actually have better field position than when they threw the ball, and Struthers got intercepted before, so this may have been a blessing in disguise.
Medium drop from Struthers. That's nearly a 3rd straight pick. And Switch Thumper with a bruised biceps going to be out the remainder of this game. He'll be back next week, though, because the SFL doctors and the SFL medical crew is on some crazy stuff.
I don't know what they do, but I do know they get people back in next game. They're definitely the best medical minds in the business.
2nd down and 10 for the Navigators. So the outside, that's going to be caught. Gain of 5 on the play. 3rd down after the catch made by Joel Harleman.
3rd and 5 here from the Madison 40, definitely outside of field goal range. Big thing here is that Annapolis needs to get on the scoreboard. They got to be able to extend or to gain back the lead here. This is key.
Throw in the middle again, and that's intercepted! Another pick! 3 straight drives ending in interceptions. It's almost like it seems like no one really wants to try here.
Don't know what's going on. We had no interceptions, no turnovers, nothing in the first half. And then now, we have had nothing but interceptions to start the second.
First and 10, Mitchell looking around. Mitchell moving out of the pocket, throws short. That's his first completed pass tonight. And it'll be 2nd and 9 on the 27.
Yeah, Madison's got to think also. Looking up at the scoreboard right now, the Adams are leading the Cavalry right now, 35-20. The Adams and the Lynx are both tied at 4-1. Madison is edging them right now to have first place. If Madison wants to retain first place, they've got to win this game.
Mitchell looking around to throw, goes deep, tipped, almost intercepted again. I would have lost it if 4 straight drives ended in picks.
I don't know what I would have done, to be honest with you. Especially, I don't know where Mitchell was throwing that ball. There was not one white jersey around. There were 4 black jerseys there, and not one of them could have come up with the ball, but I don't know where or who he was trying to throw the ball to there.
Mitchell going over the middle. That's going to be a catch for a first down to the 44. Not bad for a backup.
Not bad at all, especially a 3rd and long situation like that, keeping your composure in the pocket, especially with the pressure coming from the Annapolis defense. And looks like Walker just there being able to catch that ball right when he needs to. We didn't call his name much earlier. I think we only called it once, but he came up big there.
Mitchell goes the outside this time, ends in a gain of 7. This time to Prince Wonder.
And I'm sure you're right, Prince Wonder is just a top wide receiving prospect. I would be surprised if his name does not get called during draft night.
2nd and 3 for the Lynx. Mitchell looking around. Mitchell throwing deep. That's caught again to the 28. And Mitchell looking like the starter on this team right now, eh?
He does, and it looks like Prince Wonder may have had a conversation with him and said, "Yo, kid, take a look at me. I'm open." Because those past 2 plays by Prince Wonder have been big, and Madison is being able to move the ball like they could when Switch Thumper was in there.
Mitchell looking around, throws. That's going to be tipped around and nearly intercepted. Brings up 2nd and 10. And Madison's momentum nearly grinds to a halt.
It just goes to show you, Mitchell doesn't get in that much. When he does, he's looking good, but he still is young, he's still new, and he's still making some mistakes. He's got to be careful with those balls.
2nd and 10. Mitchell looking around, throws the outside. That's going to be caught. Turning upfield, that's going to be a gain of 9 by Dylan Lewis.
Now, Madison is in field goal range here, and we have seen Juniper Belson. He definitely does have a leg, and he can kick those long field goals, and this would be a chip shot for him. But I do think Madison wants to get in that end zone.
3rd and 1. Mitchell sacked.
And once again, who was in on that sack? Mr. Will Chandler. And number 90, Justin Marland, was in there too, and 90 actually did get the sack himself, but Will Chandler was back there putting pressure on Mitchell.
Now Juniper Belson out to attempt this one for 3. I'm sure something that not a lot of people were expecting might just happen. Madison's going to score points with Michael Mitchell in instead of Switch Thumper. Kick is up. And it is good. Madison takes the lead.
It was a great drive by Mitchell, and what we probably don't realize is that he now has to play double duty because, as most backup quarterbacks, he's also the placeholder for the kicker. So he was out there making sure the snap got down and Belson could kick it through the uprights.
Deep kick from Belson, taken at the 5, up past the 20 to the 24. They're going to mark him down at. Should be just about another play or two remaining in this third quarter for Annapolis.
That was number 57, Mike Olson on that hit. He just gave a shot to the return man there, and it was just a huge play. I'm surprised that the return man didn't go down and not get back up.
All of you are expecting the ball. Touch the back. Touch the back.
Struthers throws the outside. That's going to be taken out of bounds by Shanahan.
And Ronnie Shanahan here, little out routes. Smart to go out of bounds, being able to extend the third quarter just a little bit, giving them more time to be able to get down the field in the fourth. But they do still need to start throwing the ball down the field a little bit more. Gene Struthers was having trouble that last drive. It does look like the clock does run out on the third.
Get your 4s, 86s, 12s, and 68s up in chat, folks. Madison's up 13-10 with our backup in. Anything can happen in the SFLm, so stay tuned. Second and 5 for Annapolis. Handoff up the middle. Going to make it a 3rd and 3. As the other game goes final, the Albuquerque Adams defeat the Ottawa Cavalry 35-20.
Now this does make it a big game for Madison, so they can keep first place. They've got to win this if they want to stay on top.
3rd and 3, handoff the outside for Chris Grant Jr., and they're going to mark him short.
I don't know if I like the spot of the ball by the stripes on the field. It does look like he was able to get it. And it looks like they're bringing on the two-way player, Pete Ellis.
Yeah, punting both ways.
And if you think about it, we didn't call his name once the third quarter. They gave him a rest.
Yeah, how generous of Mike Percoco and Jay Hayden. You know, they're just such gentlemen, you know?
They decided to throw a few interceptions there, give Pete Ellis a little bit of a break for 11 minutes, and now he comes back out at the start the fourth quarter.
And so Michael Mitchell having to come on out for Madison. Mitchell loads it deep and fires incomplete.
Stern was there in perfect coverage. He saw that ball coming and he just leaped up and he said, I want this ball. Couldn't pull it in, but he did his job back there to make sure that the receiver couldn't catch the ball as well.
Second and 10 for the Lynx. Mitchell looking around, throws the outside. That's going to be caught. And they're going to mark him short for Prince Wonder.
Yeah, it looks like Prince Wonder just couldn't turn it up to feel his momentum, pulled him out of bounds. 3rd and inches here. Let's see if Madison still goes to the air, if they keep it on the ground with their running back, Michael Brown.
Third and inches. Mitchell throws the outside. They're going to mark him out of bounds. And back out comes one of the legends of the day, Pete Ellis. And oh, Madison challenging. Madison's challenging, folks. This is getting interesting.
The Lynx are challenging whether the pass.
Well, we remember on the last challenge, we thought that was a completed pass, but R62 saw something different. Let's see what he sees this time.
He sees a lot of things. So let's see. Prince Wonder. No.
Absolutely not. He caught that ball and his first foot down was on the white chalk.
Yeah.
After review, the play stands. The pass was incomplete. The catch was made out of bounds.
And R62 agrees with us.
In charge with a timeout. Fourth down.
Not only do we have a two-way punter, but the referee agreed with our assessment. Let's mark this date in history.
Yeah. A whole lot of weird, wild, and wonderful things are happening tonight in the SFLm. And out comes Pete Ellis once again. Punt is away. Has to be his probably 15th punt of the night, as they're gonna return this to the 23-yard line.
Now this is Annapolis' big chance. They're only down by 3. They do have a long field to go. They can run down this clock, get it in the end zone, and leave Madison with not much time left to try to go down and do the same thing. So it's up to Annapolis' offense to be able to drive down the field and get in the end zone.
Brothers. Pump fakes it, throws over the middle. That's caught, first down. And that's a big play from Walker, the receiver.
Walker there just going over the middle. Always a dangerous route, not only for the receiver, but for the quarterback there. You don't know where to ball. We saw enough tip drills in the last couple of drives. That was a big play by Walker to bring it in.
And over the middle this time for Chris Grant Jr., who broke free for a little bit. And makes it second down and inches.
When Chris Grant Jr. gets a hole, he definitely knows how to find a hole, find running room, be able to pick up big yards, even on the ground.
In off the outside, that is a stop. Madison getting a huge stop there, 3rd and inches.
That was definitely big for Madison. And we saw Annapolis do it earlier this half where they went 9.5 yards and got stopped. And they had to punt the ball away. It looks like Madison wants to do the same thing to the Navigators here.
That they do. 3rd and inches for the Navs. And off, and that's going to be well behind the line of scrimmage. And Annapolis going to have to punt this one away.
That was a big tackle for loss for Aminu. He just got back there, so Pete Ellis has to come back out in the other jersey to be able to punt this ball.
Yeah, I'm sure he was just finishing up the changeover, you know, was just tightening up the shoulder pads again. As now Madison has to take the field once more.
It seems to be the theme of the game. Both offenses are doing a good job moving the ball, but the problem is that the defenses are finding ways to stop them before getting into field goal or in the end zone.
It also doesn't help that these two teams can't seem to buy a 3rd down conversion tonight.
That's also very true.
Deep drop for Mitchell. Mitchell throws the outside. That's going to be a gain of 8 on the play.
Dylan Lewis doing his job, catching the ball, kept his legs going to try to get it. Looks like he was able to get at least an extra yard out of it to make it 2nd and short.
Second and 2. Throw to the outside. That's called for a first down to Dylan Lewis. And Madison keeps the ball in motion.
Michael Mitchell right now is actually doing a really good job as a backup. I really thought they might go back to a ground game, being that their number one quarterback is going to be out of the game. But Mitchell is showing himself and just getting a name for himself this second half.
That he is. He's doing better than I think a lot of people would have expected. Mitchell looking around, throws short. Gain of 3 on the play.
Third pass to Dylan Lewis there. Madison has got to do what they were doing earlier in the game and being able to mix up their receivers. Annapolis is going to figure that out and start double covering Lewis.
Mitchell throws over the middle again. That's going to be another first down as the Lynx keep the ball a-moving. And more importantly right now, they're moving the clock too.
That is very important. Like I was saying, that Annapolis, if they were going to drive down the field, even though they had a long field, they probably would have left Madison with very little time left. And it looks like Madison heard me, and they're trying to do the same thing here. Leave very little time left on the clock for Annapolis to try to forge a comeback.
Mitchell, and that's going to be a sack. The Annapolis D-line has been suffocating from start to finish.
And that was number 90 again, Justin Marland. But as you can see, number 52 was in there too. And that is Mr. Will Chandler.
Thumper looking around, looking to go deep. And that's going to be an incompletion once again, 3rd and 16.
It does look like they were targeting Hilton there down the field. Big third down play here from Madison.
Let's go.
Third and 16. Mitchell goes down again. Another sack, and Annapolis does exactly what they need to do on defense.
Number 93, Saint Melchizedek, was there on the sack. It's not often we call somebody else's number on a sack other than number 52. But 93 got back there. Big sack on third down there. Gonna get good field position off this punt by Ellis.
Yep, out he comes again. Fan favorite of the night. As he punts this one away, it's going to be taken at the 24, 4:20 remaining in this football game. Been a nice one so far, hasn't it?
It's been a seesaw battle and action back and forth, sacks, interceptions. It's a huge defensive battle going on right now tonight here in Annapolis. Whichever team can get, I believe, whichever team gets in the end zone last is going to be the winner of this game.
That seemed to be the case so far, but points have been at a premium. Hand off the outside to Chris Grant Jr. Chris Grant Jr. cutting inside, gaining 5 on the play.
Chris Grant Jr. was being stopped all the first half. I don't know what has changed in their game plan, but he's been able to get a few yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards every time he gets the ball.
Another handoff to Chris Grant Jr. Chris Grant Jr. mulls it over first down for Annapolis.
I've mentioned this before, but Chris Grant Jr. is definitely a workhorse. When he has a hole, when the offensive line creates a hole for him, he's going to hit that hole and he's going to get the yardage you're going to need.
And off once again to Chris Grant Jr., gaining a yard. Surprised Annapolis is going so heavy on the running game to this point.
It might be a clock management thing with Coach Hayden here. He wants to run the clock down so that they just have a few seconds left to get in the end zone and leave Madison with nothing.
Throw to the outside, that's another one. Another gain of 7 on the play. Time for Bizarre.
Lars Bizarre. We haven't called his number yet this game, but he was a huge factor in their win last week over Lincoln. He's definitely a pass catching fullback, and when he gets it, he does pick up those yardage.
Throw to the outside, and oh, tipped around, incomplete. 4th and 3. Now the question becomes, do they stay out or do they send out Pete Ellis again?
I would go for it here, and it does look like that the offense is still on the field. I don't think they're going to try a hard count. 2:32 left, down by 3. They're not far from field goal range to tie it up. And
yeah, they're going to go for this one. They're going to pass it, too. Struthers empty backfield. Struthers looking around, throws the outside, and a good cause, first down to the 45, and he got out of bounds. That play could not have gone much better for the Navs.
Ronnie Shanahan on the reception. He was Mr. Reliable for the Navigators last week, and it looks like he's coming up big again right when the Navigators need him.
First and 10, handoff to Chris Grant. And Grant's going to gain a few yards as Annapolis continues to wind down the clock. Looking to see if they are going to snap this before the 2-minute warning. It'd be smart for them to do so. Handoff again to Chris Grant Jr. Moving it up to the midfield stripe. 2 minutes to go. Annapolis down by 3. Can they pull off the upset against Madison? Will we go to overtime? Or will Madison hang on with a backup quarterback? Third and 5. 2 plays to get 5 yards for Annapolis. Throw this one over the middle. Guy's wide open. Of course he's going to get it. First down for the Navs to the 37. Midfield play, though. The clock's still moving.
Joel Harmon, the two-way out of Jacksonville, coming up big to keep this drive alive and Annapolis' chances alive for this game.
Struthers looking around, going to dump it off to Chris Grant Jr., who's going to lose a few yards. And they still don't call a timeout.
Madison's defense saw that play. They were ready for Chris Grant Jr. on that swing route. I don't know why Annapolis isn't calling a timeout. Minute 15 left in the game, down by 3, not in field goal range. They got to conserve this clock.
Second and 12, handoff up the middle, gain of 4, and Annapolis finally using their first timeout. 1 minute to go. If nothing else, they desperately need like 6 or 7 yards on this play, because they're going to need to, at the bare minimum, get a field goal here.
And we saw before that they decided to punt, and it was a 42-43, would have been a 42-43 yard field goal, so they might need more than that to be able to get in a field goal range.
Throw this over the middle. That's not going to matter, though. At least not at the moment. That's going to be a first down at the 25. They continue. They're going into the hurry-up. This is a pretty dang good formation to get stuck in for the hurry-up. Struthers looking around, has time, throws to Chris Grant Jr. Oh, my goodness! That thing was motivated. Second and 11. Struthers looking around, gets it off right in the nick of time. It's going to be incomplete. 2 plays to get 11 yards. If they wanted to keep this alive, with 28 seconds remaining.
They're on Madison's 26, so you're looking at a 42-yard field goal from this distance. Again, they decided to punt when they were in this territory earlier in the game. They probably need at least 5 more yards to feel safe with their kicker.
Can't afford any loss of yardage here. Struthers looking around, throws the outside, that's going to be caught. Can he get it to the outside? They're going to say he did. Makes it 4th and 3 on the 18. And out comes the kicker.
Scotty Orman coming on for probably one of the biggest kicks that he's going to have. 1 and 4, kicking the ball to try to tie the 4-1 first place Madison Lynx.
A lot of pressure on his shoulders. 35 yards out. Kick is up. And he missed it! He misses the 35-yarder, and Madison is going to win the football game.
That is a heartbreaker for the Navigators. That most kickers in the SFLm can kick a 35-yard field goal. He just pulled it wide. That is so unfortunate for the Navigators.
And now Madison's going to walk out after Switch Thumper goes down in the middle of the third, ends up outscoring Annapolis since that point. And those 3 points that they scored were enough to hold on and keep pace with Albuquerque in a thrilling 13-10 game.
I think everybody who's watching the game thought that when Thumper went down, Madison had no chance, but Mitchell came in, took the reins, and just said, "I've got this, guys, don't worry about it."
That is some next level craziness, I gotta say. Still, all the kudos to Annapolis. That was one heck of an effort throughout the ball game. Just did not go their way when it just, one bad bounce when it really mattered. And they're going to walk out of this game 1 and 5, effectively eliminated from the playoff discussion.
We do have to talk a little bit, put a positive light on Annapolis. Their defensive line got in the backfield a lot. I want to say they had at least 5 or 6 sacks on the game. I don't have my stat sheet in front of me right now to tell you for sure. But there were players that just got back there and did their job when they had to.
Yeah, this game was a phenomenal one of the best this SFLm season. Nearly split the difference, honestly. These two teams looked very good. Rough loss for Annapolis, rough win for Madison. And another week of the SFLm is in the books. Now, of course, we got to talk about this game. We got to talk about who could be the player of the game, because it's kind of all over the place. You want to say Switch Thumper inherently, but obviously, he wasn't there for the majority of the game, for the majority of the second half. I guess it has to be Will Chandler, right?
I'm going to say, if you're going to look at Annapolis on the losing side, Will Chandler is the man to look at. But if you're going to look on Madison, Prince Wonder was all over the field and making big plays. Personally, I still want Pete Ellis to have it, but I don't think they'll give it to a punter.
Yeah, a punter that went 2 directions throughout this ball game. And of course, Michael Mitchell is definitely someone to talk about, considering the fact that he kept Madison in it and didn't let being thrust into a ball game like this really scare him at all. If anything, it's honestly impressive.
Absolutely impressive. Just a great game. I mean, the stat just came across. Chandler had 3 sacks, and Melchizedek had 2 sacks. They had 5 sacks on the game right there just for the Annapolis defense.
Yeah, and of course, looking to next week, Madison hosts the Lexington Miners, and Annapolis takes a trip across the country to San Jose to play a flight. Dylan Lewis named player of the game, wide receiver for the Madison Lynx. Thank you to everyone for watching this epic Clash of a game. I've been Jack Brown alongside Mickey Malillo. Special thanks to Cameron Irvine to making this game happen. And we say so long and have a great rest of your weekend.